Let's talk about this. What is this? These are 5 stars and you can buy them with real money. Weird, isn't it? As years have gone on, and also recently seeing a tweet by Seatin. Jesus Christ, what's wrong with me? I can't speak properly. I saw a tweet by Seatin, I think it was at some point this week, and it just kind of like reminded me of something. The tweet in particular is this, and that is everyone complaining about being able to buy a god tier 5-star champion for $99. Me in 2016 spending $10,000 on 4-star champions. And it very much reminded me of the past and also something called depreciation. It's hard to bring the world of depreciation and mobile games to a center point, but funny enough, that is actually a thing that happens. The way that you look at this, and it's something I do talk about a lot, is like back when I started playing the game in very early 2015, kind of like 2014 to 2015, that kind of like December, January kind of moment. There was this moment in time when 4 stars were the most valuable things you could obtain within the game. And to kind of give you an idea of how depreciation works from like a real world perspective, it's the same way like cars depreciate. Like you could say, okay, well, in the first year, you've lost 15 to 35% of like 65 to 85. You basically, you lose value. You lose value. So they always say that when you buy a new car, brand new car that is, and you take it off the car lot, or I don't know, like what we'd say in the UK. That car lot is kind of like an American term. In the UK, we kind of refer to it as like the garage, whatever it is, the forecourt, the car sales forecourt. Oh, what am I talking? I'm just rambling on here. But the fact is, as soon as you take out the forecourt, you take it off the grounds of it depreciates in value. And it can very much be seen by like what kind of content is best to put out. Like I'm going to put out 4-star crystal opening video. That's not a good idea, Richard. 6-star crystal opening video. That's better, Richard. Do that. But yeah, if you go back in time to some of my older videos, you'll see like Prem crystal openings. 2k sub, 4-star crystal opening, 4-star crystal opening, 4-star crystal opening. Interesting content back in the day. It's certainly weird going back like several years, like 6 years when I started doing YouTubing, or more than that, to be honest. I think I've been doing it for a lot longer. Yeah, it's just like 4-star crystal opening is kind of the thing. Funny enough, in one of the particular ones, I think here I'm back in my old. I think I'm back in my old house. Like, where is that? No, I think I'm in the old room. My God, like time goes on sometimes. I think some of my most earliest crystal openings, I'm literally in my old house. God damn. And I've kind of diverted away from the topic. The topic that I wanted to kind of like digest and talk about was the extent of depreciation, and as well the extent of why Kabam are doing what you see on screen right now, where you can buy these certain champions. Okay, there's some positives and there's some negatives to this. Okay, so from the negative side of view, the depreciation, which is the thing this kind of like topic is kind of like centered on, is that spending money in the previous years versus now has changed. Yes, Kabam have changed some progression titles upwards, which means you need to kind of up the value, because you need to kind of go, okay, I've got a certain point in the game where I spend money, I want to feel like I'm getting value back from it. And that's the point as well. The point between free to play and spenders, if you spend in the game or you spend in general, regardless if it's MCOC, mobile gaming or life, you want to feel that you're getting value for money. If you spent money back in the like years I started, 2014, 2015, and looked where in comparison where the game is now, you kind of feel like it is a case that your money to a degree was wasted. And I definitely felt like as of last year, like looking back to like the 3-star and 4-star roster accumulation, that I did feel that my money felt like it was wasted back when I was spending in 2014, 2015, or 2015, 2016. Which is one of the reasons that kind of like fueled more of an interest for me to go non-spending. And I actually ended up, and now I enjoy the game a lot more because I don't spend in game. Now that may change going into next year, but it's certainly very interesting to see value improve for maybe people that are new to the game, and obviously getting, I wouldn't say like a help up, because I want to say these offers are kind of tailored to certain people at certain like progression levels. but at the same time, depreciation is still a thing, and it's an annoying thing. But here's the thing, the term value for money, especially in a mobile game, is a very difficult thing. I've got the Steam store up at the moment, and you can really see like a big kind of like difference here on the quality of like, you know, games, the value for what you get. Like 2 Point Campus has just been released. 2 Point Hospital is kind of like Theme Hospital. If anybody played Theme Hospital back in the day, one of the games I absolutely loved, as well as like Theme Park and stuff like that. There's kind of like loads of fun games out there on Steam, but as well at the same time value and kind of like, you know, cost of things. That particular game costs £24 to pay, £34, sorry, and that's just out, and that'll probably be on sale like, I don't know, in the next kind of like 3 to 4 months. So it could be a case that you could pick up a on sale 2 Point Campus. You could also pick up a second game of like Back for Blood, for example, which is $24.99. You could pick up a load of smaller games for the same price. There's lots of decent value out there, and you know, you can pick up. Again, I digress. I think it's kind of bringing this round point about value for money. At a point you are in the game, you have to make that decision of whether or not you want to spend on these particular things. Also looking at things like the extras you get from it, like the Cavalier Anum Nexus crystal, if you get the Venom, or, you know, the House of M crystals that you get Cavalier wise. You make those decisions because there are about 300 units a piece for them. That's 1,500 units of value. There's the champion right there. What are you effectively paying for? And also the shards. But yeah, the question is, what are you effectively paying for when it comes to those particular bundles? And I've got to be honest, like, this is good in some ways. I think it's good because it was like an idea that's kind of taken from like other games, which funny enough I talked about I think a long time ago, but it's weird that Kabam are doing this now. Like one of my favorite games, which is World of Tanks. World of Tanks, you're allowed to, like, with the premium store, buy vehicles, which, you know, you can like grab them. You don't have to kind of like go RNG with any kind of loot box based system, and this has been in place for a very, very long time. They did do a loot box based system, but that was kind of like I think it's like a Christmas thing they do in order to get like rare tanks or blueprints for tanks and stuff like that. But the point still remains, like, they've been doing this for years. Like World of Tanks has been running since 2010, I want to say, which was 4 years prior to kind of MCOC kind of like running, and yeah, so it's just like and other games do it as well. I'm not saying like Kabam kind of like are just getting onto it, or like, you know, stuff like that. It's been a thing for a very, very long time. So the end point I really want to kind of get this to is, yes, this is all about kind of like looking at depreciation within mobile games. Yeah, okay, in general sense, like, it is what it is, and mobile game developers will continue to do this because they obviously want to make as much money as possible from this particular situation. I can imagine people will buy this bundle, especially if they're missing certain key champions. But the question that I would kind of like pose to anybody, regardless if you're free to play and regardless whether or not you are a spender in the game, would you instead of going for those bundles, would you opt, if you needed the champions, would you opt for dual class crystals instead to get those particular 5 stars in those particular? Would you give like more of a chance to it? Would you wait as well to like arenas coming out, arenas for these specific type of champions if you're without? But the interesting thing is, like, I would like to know from the comment section whether or not there's people out there that will and have bought these bundles, and probably want to find out the reason as to why you would want to buy these bundles. There's no kind of disrespect or kind of like, you know, I'm not trying to like go like yeah. I'm just trying to find out like an interesting point, like maybe, and that's just thinking about finding out other people's points as to why they'd be interested to buy, what benefits it might have for your roster. Is it a case of acquisition of champions? Is it a case of wanting to go, you know, have a spin at some like bit of luck? Is it a case that you have exponential, you know, income, you have like expendable income? And the next point to that is like, why can't you support the channel? No, I'm only kidding, right? You know, just interested as to like what the interest is with purchasing them. You know, get some members, gift some members. No. I'm only kidding, right? But they'd be interesting to find out nonetheless. That indeed has been the video. Thank you very much for watching. Whatever you're doing today, have a lovely one, and I'll see you in the next one whenever it'll be. Cheers, bye bye.